Southampton versus Arsenal predicted lineup. So lads, with there only being 8 remaining games left in the Premier League, in Arsenal's latest quest of let's not be embarrassed, we come up against Southampton. Now in terms of the current league standings, Arsenal currently sit in 10th place and Southampton are 14th. And the most funny thing about it is if Southampton can beat Arsenal, they will go on level points with us, which is absolutely insane when you consider the fact the last time Arsenal played Southampton, they were bottom of the table and Arsenal fighting for the Champions League places. So of course, with Arsenal losing the last 2 games against Brighton and Manchester City, and also with the news that their goalkeeper Bernd Leno could be out for over a year, let's just say Arsenal fans are in desperate need of a victory. So with that being said guys, let's get into today's video and let me give you my predicted lineup for Southampton versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Lads, let's not get embarrassed. Yes lads, that is right, into the final 8 games of the season, and I cannot wait for this horrific season to finally be over, because I just cannot be asked anymore. Yo, what's up guys, my name is Southampton and welcome back to my channel. In today's video lads, we are back again to discuss the mighty Arsenal, or shall I say just the Arsenal, because we're not mighty anymore. And I will give my predicted lineup as Arsenal come up against 14th place Southampton. And as I've already said in the intro of this video, if Southampton can somehow pull off the victory, they will go on level points with the Arsenal. They were bottom of the table the last time we played them. What is going on, Arsenal? I need some answers. But with that being said guys, before we get into the video, so go down there, smash a like on the video, subscribe channel if you are new, and also comment down below your thoughts and your opinions. Let me know your predictions for the game and also how you would line up the Arsenal team. Also guys, make sure to follow all my social media, my Twitter and my Instagram, and also subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. Links are all in the description. But with that being said guys, let's get into this video. So with that being said guys, let's discuss Southampton versus the Arsenal. I like to give you my preview and my predicted lineup, because Mikel Arteta, after the last 2 lineups, you need my help bro. Starting off in goal, it's going to be man like Bert. No it's not, it's going to be man like Emiliano Martinez. And that's all down to you, Neil Mopé, because that is right. Of course, in terms of our last game as Brighton Hove Albion, Bernd Leno won off injured in the first half, stretchered off as he pointed towards Neil Mopé. Yes, that is right. Of course, Neil Mopé clattered into Bernd Leno, which has now led to a knee injury, which could see him out for over a year. A year, bro! A year! An entire year without Bernd Leno. Deep the amount of times we're about to get embarrassed now, because we don't have a goalkeeper who can save us again and again and again. And that's all down to you, Neil Mopé. And trust me, karma is coming for you. Yo, karma, what are you waiting for, bro? Of course, with Bernd Leno now being rolled out for the rest of the season, that leaves us with only Emiliano Martinez. Now, of course, in terms of Martinez, he came on against Brighton. He wasn't that bad, but I would say, in terms of the Brighton winner, maybe you could say, why does he go down so soon? Because if you look into what the best goalkeepers in the world do, what they do is they stand tall and stand big as much as possible. But by Martinez going down to defeat, it gave an easy goal for Mopé, and he just chipped it over him. And with Martinez being a 6'6" goalkeeper, I'm sure if he just stayed up and stayed big, he would have easily saved that. And he would also have saved Arsenal a massive embarrassment. But regardless to say though lads, we do not have that many options going into this game, so Emiliano Martinez is going to have to start. But it does post the question lads, and let me know your thoughts in the comments, because 2 Arsenal now go out there and sign another goalkeeper. Moving on to the right back lads, and it's going to be man like Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin. I mean, if you could just go 1 game without getting defensively caught out, it would massively be appreciated, Hector Bellerin. Of course, in my last video I discussed 5 players that Arsenal need to sell in the summer, and one of those players was in fact Hector Bellerin. But one thing I will say about Hector Bellerin lads is, if you want to prove the Arsenal fans like myself wrong and you want to stay at the Arsenal, you got 8 games bro to show me, because right now my patience is wearing very thin bro. But of course, in terms of the specific game, Hector Bellerin will have to start, because the other right backs are non-existent. In terms of Maitland-Niles, he don't play right back, and in terms of Cedric Suarez, I don't know what's going on there, and I'm starting to get very frustrated now Arsenal. Why have you got a player who's getting paid 20-30,000 pounds a week to sit on the Arsenal bench? In fact, not even be in the Arsenal bench, he's not even in the Arsenal squad. Rahul Senlehi bro, I'm not going to call you Don anymore until I get some answers. What is going on with Cedric Suarez? But yeah, in terms of the specific game, Hector Bellerin has to start. Here's a bit of advice Hector, if you actually stay in your position and remain defensively salute, you might actually get the win, and then you can actually plant your trees. Moving on to the first centre back lads, is going to be man like Shkodran Mustafi. In terms of Shkodran Mustafi, this is very simple. Let's get straight right now lads, Arsenal don't have a single other centre back of the club that can fill in this role right now, because in terms of the case of David Luiz, this guy's suspended, Socrates is injured, and Callum James is yet yet to return to training either. So by default, Shkodran Mustafi has to start by the Arsenal. In terms of Mustafi in the past 2 games, he hasn't by any means been a very bad player, but don't get me wrong, there has been a few moments when the man has looked a bit shaky. But apart from that mistake against Man City and maybe not switching off against Brighton, overall Mustafi has looked somewhat solid. He's still Mustafi though, because in the case of Shkodran Mustafi, we all still know the guy is a ticking time bomb. We all know in the most important moments Mustafi is going to make a mistake, and I'm already mentally preparing myself for it. Moving on to the next centre back, lads, is going to be man like Rob Holding. I would say Rob Holdini, but you do not deserve to be called Rob Holdini anymore. But yeah, in the case of Rob Holding, again, it's another case where we have no other centre backs that can play in this game, and unless you fancy seeing Sead Kolasinac or Kieran Tierney play at centre back, it's going to have to be Rob Holding. In terms of the Brighton game, lads, he was really poor. In terms of the both goals that Arsenal conceded in the game, you could argue if Rob Holding had just done a bit better on both of them, we might have just won that game somehow. But alas, it did not happen. But again, Rob Holding, I'll say it to you again, you were in my video yesterday as you were one of the 5 players who I think Arsenal need to sell. But again, Rob, feel free to prove you wrong, because you got the rest of the season to do so. So go and do it and defend properly and stay switched on, bro. If you don't do so, I will drive you personally back to Bolton Wanderers, bro. Moving on to left back, lads, is gonna be man like Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney in this game has to start, and not as a left winger Mikel Arteta. Of course, in the last game, Kieran Tierney not even did start, but when he came on as a left winger, and that really baffles my head, because on the bench we literally had one of the best left wingers, best young left wingers in the world, in Gabriel Martinelli, aka Pele's godson. But of course, in the last game, Arteta chose to leave Kieran Tierney on the bench, and I'm presuming that is simply because the man returned from a long-term injury and he wanted to give him a bit of a rest. And so of course, instead he started man at Sead Kolasinac, who again wasn't that bad. But in this game, I want no excuses. Tierney had his rest the last game, he's going to start this game. Kieran Tierney has to start. Moving on to the deep lying central midfield, lads, it's going to be Matteo Guendouzi. Ale Matteo Guendouzi, what on earth happened in that last game, bro? Of course, in the last game, his Brighton home Albion, Guendouzi was in the headlines after he was seen to strangle Neil Maupay. Now of course, a lot of Arsenal fans would go, why are you being so stupid, Matteo? Stop being so childish. But let's get it straight, Arsenal fans, a majority of us wanted a 2-foot Neil Maupay anyways after the game. And of course, with the news coming that Matteo Guendouzi has escaped a 3-match ban, that means he's available for this game, and I want to see him start. In terms of the last game, of course, Arsenal did go for a 4-3-3 system, and Matteo Guendouzi was playing as a deep line playmaker. Now of course, if we had a fully fit Granit Xhaka should start there instead, but alas, we do not. But what I need to see this time though is the midfielders in front of him help him out a bit more, because in the last game, the reason why Arsenal struggled to pass the ball forward so much, because what Brighton were doing was very clever. They were just shuttling Guendouzi with 2 players in front of him, and so that what happened in most of the game was all Arsenal were doing was passing the ball sideways and backwards and sideways. And it was really boring. So in this game, what I want to see is Guendouzi just get a bit more help, and then if it's not working as just a one central midfielder, what you then do is you drop off 2 players instead, opening up more options to pass forwards, and so Arsenal can then play out the back. But yeah, in terms of the Southampton game, I would like to see Matteo Guendouzi start, and hopefully in this game, instead of strangling their striker, he's going to strangle their team, keep them in, and get Arsenal the win. Moving on to the first attacking midfielder, lads, and it's going to be Mesut Ozil. Yes, you heard that right, I just said Mesut Ozil. You know that player that we have just chilling on the bench, who earns £350,000 a week, the guy who was a 5-time German Player of the Year, the guy has won the World Cup, that guy there, yeah, Mesut Ozil, I want him to start. And I think the reasons why is very simple. A lot of fans will be going, oh Babs, nah, this team's too attacking, what are you doing? But to be honest with you guys, that is what I'm trying to do anyways. I want to see Arsenal attack. I have had enough of boring sideways football, and with our current defense anyways, we're not going to hold out clean sheets. So it's not like if we have more midfielders, we're going to defend any better anyways. So in this game, what I want to see Arsenal do is simply attack. I've had enough of boring football. I want to go forward, I want to get Southampton, and I want to see a few goals. In terms of the Arsenal problem right now, our attack is perfectly capable. The only issue is though, lads, is we do not have a current supply line towards them. How on earth do you expect Aubameyang and Pepe and so to score if there's no one finding the balls to them? And yes, it's a bold decision, but in this game, I would start Mesut Ozil as that right-sided attacking midfielder, because at the end of the day, it's inevitable that Danny Ings is going to score, and we're going to have to score goals regardless. So I would like to see Mesut Ozil start. That's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Moving on to the left-sided central midfield, lads, is going to be man like Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka was so good in that last game. In fact, I would go as far as saying he's probably one of the only, if not the only positive coming out of that game. Of course, in the last game, Bukayo Saka started as a left-sided attacking midfielder, almost in a David Silva-esque role, and he really did flourish in that game. Not only was he making chances, not only was he getting into the Brighton defence, but overall, lads, he looked like Arsenal's most potent attacker, because what would happen is when Saka would get the ball, he'd run out wide, and Aubameyang would make a darting run down the middle. And so in terms of Mikel Arteta's tactics, I do not have an issue in how Arsenal attack. And for me in that game against Brighton, what Saka showed is that he has the capabilities and the facilities to play as that left-sided attacking midfielder. And it's not like Arsenal are blessed with that many attacking midfielders anyways, so we're going to have to see Bukayo Saka start. And not only do I want to see Bukayo Saka start, I also want to see a new Bukayo Saka contract. How on earth have we got a guy who's the future of Arsenal Football Club just chilling there with just 1 year left on his contract? Forget about Don Rahul, gets on the phone with Bukayo Saka, put the contract on the table, let him put whatever numbers he wants to put on them and sign that contract. Moving on to the right wing, lads, is going to be Nicolas Pepe. Man like Nicolas Pepe, this is the Presidents, and we saw Presidents last game. Of course, in that game against Brighton, we saw exactly what Nicolas Pepe is capable of doing. We all know when he cuts inside from the left side, he has the ability to whip one top bins, and that's exactly what he did. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but before the break of football, one thing that Arteta actually did was he challenged Nicolas Pepe. And what he said to Pepe was that I want you to be more unpredictable towards defenders, and you do not get more predictable than cutting inside and putting it into the top bins. And Nicolas Pepe there, lads, we have the magic man. We have a player there who in a game where Arsenal struggling is able to find moments like that, and that for me is why we paid £72 million for the guy. So for me in this game, again, it's a no-brainer. Nicolas Pepe has to start. In fact, the only thing I'd say though is what I want to see more of is the fullback join in with Nicolas Pepe, because in the last game what we were seeing is Bellerin was doing absolutely nothing to help out Pepe. But even when you isolate the guy, as the guy did show, he can cut inside and put it in the top bins. So in this game, Nicolas Pepe has to start. Last game we saw a glimpse of Presence FC. This game we need to see a bit more of Presence FC. Nicolas Pepe has to start. Moving on to the striker, lads, is going to be man like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I want to see Aubameyang start down the middle. Now again, so far in his Arsenal management career, Mikel Arteta has chosen to play Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as a left winger. And so far, you know what, it works for him. He gets his goals and so and so. But let's get straight, lads. We do not have a. But when you look at, but let's get straight, lads. Aubameyang wants to play down the middle, and it's not like Arsenal are blessed with striker options, anyways. Because right now we have Eddie Nketiah, who is just too young and too weak to play in the Premier League, and then you have Alexandre Lacazette, who I don't have a clue what is going on with him. No Premier League away goal since February 2019. Now, bro, I'm good. And so in this game, what I want to see is Aubameyang play in his preferred role, which is down the middle. Because I am getting sick and tired of the chances falling to the wrong people. And we saw that clearly in the last game, where Lacazette was getting chance after chance after chance, and he could not take that. Whereas in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he would most certainly take those chances. So Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you might not be here come next season, but Pierre, I am sure that you want that golden boot. So go out there and get the goals and get Arsenal some wins, lads. Left winger, Gabriel Martinelli. Senor Mikel Arteta, there are no more excuses, bro. In the first game back against Man City, you left Martinelli on the bench, I let it be. In the second game against Brighton, you left Martinelli on the bench, I let it be. But in this game, I will no longer let it be. I would like to see Gabriel Martinelli, aka Pele's godson, start against Southampton, because my mind is boggling to why he is not currently playing for the Arsenal, unless of course there are some things going on behind the scenes. Because the issue for me right now going forward for Arsenal is we do not have any sort of balance. In terms of our front three in the last game, we had Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang. It's a very one-sided front three, but a front three of Pepe, Aubameyang and Martinelli is a very balanced and fluid front three, and that is what I want to see. And in terms of Gabriel Martinelli, we have one of the best young players in the Premier League. We have one of the best talents in the world, and we're just choosing to leave him on the bench. Are you being serious, Arteta? Now, as you know, Mikel, I'm a very patient guy, but in Gabriel Martinelli's case, I am no longer patient. My patience is gone. I would like to see Gabriel Martinelli start, and I would like to see a front three of Nicolas Pepe, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Gabriel Martinelli. Mikel Arteta, I am on my knees, bro. All that being said, guys, I am going to end the video there and there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your predictions for the game and also how you think Arsenal should line up. Make sure to follow all my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and also subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. The links are in the description. But with that being said, guys, I am going to end the video there and there. In today's video, lads, we have discussed Arsenal versus Southampton, and I have given you my predicted lineup. And all I want to see, Mikel, is Gabriel Martinelli start. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you next time in a bit.